pay £18 billion for the privilege of doing so.
Mr. Speaker, he talks of panic. The only panic is people using the NHS.
Nigel Farage revealed what Starmer did off camera. Shocking truth exposed. You're not going to believe what just surfaced. While the cameras were rolling, we saw one version of Keir Starmer calm, polished, always on message. But off camera. According to Nigel Farage, that's where the real story begins. And it's nothing like the carefully crafted image you've been shown. This isn't just another political squabble. This feels like a moment where the mask slips. And when it does, even for just a few minutes, you get a glimpse of the kind of politics that normally stays behind closed doors. So, here's what happened. Earlier this week, during a major public event, Farage claims he witnessed and later obtained inside information about an exchange Starmer had when the broadcast ended. The TV lights went down, the mics were being unclipped, and Starmer, thinking he was out of the public eye, apparently made comments that could change how people see him. Farage didn't waste time. In a live segment on his own platform, he said, and I'm paraphrasing, "You wouldn't believe the difference between Starmer's on-camera persona and what I saw backstage. It's like two different people." Now, let's pause here. Political figures shift tone when the cameras stop. That's nothing new. But Farage claims this wasn't just a casual offhand remark. It was a revealing moment that hinted at deeper strategies, frustrations, and even political calculations that the public never gets to hear. So, what exactly did Farage say happened? According to him, Starmer used the off-camera moment to make blunt comments about certain policy decisions, comments that, if made publicly, could have sparked a major backlash from his own supporters. He also allegedly spoke in a way that seemed less concerned about public opinion, and more about how things really work inside the party. And here's where it gets more intriguing. Farage didn't just describe this, he hinted that others in the room were stunned. One insider, according to Farage, later told him, if the public heard that, it would be tomorrow's front-page headline. Naturally, reactions have been swift. Supporters of Farage are saying this proves their point that political leaders often hide their true positions until the cameras are off. One commenter on social media wrote, "This is why people feel disconnected from politics. We're being shown a performance." On the other hand, Labour allies have dismissed Farage's claims as an exaggeration, with one MP telling a journalist, "It's theatre." Farage needs headlines, and he knows how to get them. Still, the story has legs. Because whether you believe Farage or not, it raises an uncomfortable question. How much of what we see from our leaders is authentic, and how much is rehearsed? For Starmer, this is tricky territory. His political brand is built on stability, credibility, and presenting himself as a steady hand compared to the chaos of previous leadership. If the public starts to believe there's a private Starmer with a totally different approach, that image could fracture. And here's something else worth noting: this incident didn't happen in isolation. Over the past year, there have been quiet murmurs in political circles about Starmer being far more pragmatic, even blunt, in private than his public speeches suggest. It's not necessarily scandalous. Many leaders adapt their message depending on the audience, but when an opponent like Farage decides to shine a spotlight on it, those whispers get a megaphone. Political analysts are already debating what this means for the coming months. If Farage's account gains traction, it could push journalists to dig deeper into what Starmer says behind closed doors, and whether it aligns with his public commitments. It might also embolden other insiders to speak up, adding fuel to a narrative that Starmer's polished public persona is only part of the story. The public's reaction so far? Mixed, but curious. Hashtags tied to the story began trending within hours, with thousands of posts either demanding that Starmer come clean or mocking Farage for stirring drama. One particularly viral tweet read, "Farage leaking off-camera Starmer is like reality TV producers revealing unseen footage you can't help but watch, even if it's petty." So, where does this leave us? On one hand, Farage has successfully shifted the conversation, even if only temporarily, onto his own terms, and that's a political win in itself. On the other, Starmer now faces a choice: ignore the claims and hope they fade, or address them directly and risk amplifying the story. And remember, this is happening at a time when trust in politics is already fragile. Every little crack in the facade, every suggestion that leaders speak one way in public and another in private, feeds a growing cynicism among voters. So here's the big question, and maybe it's the one we should all be asking. If this is what Farage says he saw in just one off-camera moment, what else is being said, in other rooms, when the public isn't watching? Because in politics, what's said off camera can sometimes be more telling than anything in a press conference. And the question remains, is this just one isolated moment, or the tip of something much bigger?